Konbanwa? Herzlich willkommen zu Feed. Hallo Ataraxia. Und mir fällt gerade ab, ich habe vergessen, es zu Hallo Ataraxia umzustellen. Und es steht auf... Naja, okay. Kann man nichts machen. Wir gehen mal zur Archery Range, zu Sakura. In the Archery Range on a holiday. As it's not restricted to just our school at times, there are local cure practitioners not using it as well. It's the only range within the city after all.
失礼します。
こんにちは、先輩。
ようエミヤ、とうとう観念して引きに来たのか？
Sakura and Mitsuri are at the dojo. They are both in their Zulu uniforms. I guess practice hasn't started yet.
いや、残念ながら手ぶらで。二人とも何してるんだ？
ああ、部活は午後からで、ちょっとマトウと雑談をね。文化祭と弓道部の出し物について。
Yeah, now that you mention this, I've heard a few things about that. Something about the club's program for the festival isn't decided yet, and how they can't quite muster up the sense of unity for the kind of teamwork-related activity.
先輩も上がってください。いろいろ相談させていただきたいことがありますから。
そうか。じゃ、失礼します。さて、そうすると、今度は新部長のさくらが温度を取ってやるわけだ。
Yep.
はい。そのことについて考えていたんですけど。
別に部内で反対の声はないんだけどね。足並みを揃えるのが大変なのよ、これが。
Mitsuri Sykes. The Archery Club is by no means a small group. In the past, there were troublemakers like Shinji and me, and surely that's still true for the current underclassman.
はい。私に本当にまとめられるのかなって。
マトウに無理なら誰もできないんだって。私もエミヤも直接同行するわけにいかないしね。とはいえ、
Mitsuri tries to encourage her, but the end of the culture festival is a fun thing to do after all. No point in forcing anyone, but first of all...
出し物、何か決まってるのか？
それが全然、それ以前の問題よ。まずは部員間の団結というか、マトウの自信かね。弓道部部長としてはもう一人前なんだけど、お祭りのリーダーとして経験がなさすぎるんだよな。
面目ないです。みんなで騒ぐのって先輩の家でしか経験なくて。
So looks on dejectedly. Yeah, she doesn't really seem like the type who's ever cut loose and run wild. Pot, meat, cattle. The three of us are lost deep in thought. The silence broken up, only the painful ticking of the clock.
まあエミヤもいいアイデアが浮かんだら言ってくれ。まだ時間もあるしさ。
And so the morning concludes the dark atmosphere. Okay, stop because weak this, huh? Good. Dann immer mit weiter. Now they speak of things to ask the writer about the Holy Grail more. I will door Raya's room. I don't like this, but I have to ask the writer what she thinks. I couldn't ask in the morning since the opportunity didn't present itself. It should be easier to get serious face-to-face from flowing at this.
おい、ライダー、話があるんだけど。
I speak and just let the door open. Well, chat for a bit, and depending on how it goes, I'll try asking her about the real intentions.
そうですね。正直に言ってしまえば、桜に危険が及ばなければそれでいい。仮に聖杯戦争が本格化し、町が崩壊したところで、私は何も。
Rugby club. So, not having Sakura around turned out to be a plus, so she speaks her mind calmly with no reservations. On second thought, it's definitely a minus. The intensity of her reply said she was down my spine.
そうか。なんだ。万が一にもありえないんだけど、仮に桜が戦う気になったら、その時点で戦闘開始ってことかな。
桜が勝利を望むのであれば、そうなります。私は私のできる範囲で、今度こそ聖杯戦争を勝ち抜くでしょう。学園を血に染めたように、キャスターを上回る規模でブラッドフォートを展開させる覚悟もある。
Net.
シロ、それを阻むというのであれば、あなたが相手でもよしはしません。
This is problematic. If also it's be really big by a stroke of her real bad luck, Sakura says to make such a decision. I can't tell Ryder that I won't be going against her, painful as it is. If Sakura were to lose her way, then I'd have no choice to resist. Ryder knows this full well, so she didn't ask me to ally with Sakura.
そんなもしもの話は置いておいて。しかし意外だな。ライダーはもっと受動的な性格だと思ってた。
And I don't expect to hear that she would sacrifice the whole town of population. The image of Ryder that got over the last 6 months is that of a woman who has many interests but simply doesn't act on most of them.
ええ、シローの推測は正しいと思います。けれど、機会がそちらから訪れるのなら話は別です。戦いになるのなら全力を尽くします。
Verstehe.
殺すときは殺す。容赦なく、残酷に。二度と蘇らないよう。二度と私に挑むなどと思わないように。
ライダー。
It feels as if my body is about to literally freeze up. Her music eyes behind the glass through suppressed, paralyzed by extremities.
でもそれは喧嘩を売られた時の話だろ。いや、仮にさくらが戦う気になっても、さくらはそんな方法は許さない。
でしょうね。けれど、私とさくらの方針は根本が異なります。セイバーも言っていたでしょう。その時になれば、私は手段を選ばないと。否定はしません。私はセイバーのように高潔な魂は持っていない。戦いになれば人格を変貌させ、思うままに人を殺して回るでしょう。
I get the unpleasant feeling of a déjà vu. Rather serve the practicing reply. Blazing with an ominous image.
違う。そんなことはない、ライダー。半年も同じ家で暮らしたんだぞ。ライダーがどんな人間かは嫌でも感じ取れる。お前、あんたがあんなのと同じだなんて言わせない。
It's because of my dizziness. Like an idiot, I let my feelings flare up in a way that's very unlike me.
シロ、いい機会です。一つ忠告しておきましょう。私は怪物です。あなたたちが伝え聞いた通りの人々に恐れられた魔物なのです。
Aber du bist mein Monster!
この手は血に汚れている。かつて私は神殿で多くの勇者に挑まれ、例外なく食い尽くした。こうして今人の姿をしているからといってそれを否定することはできません。
メドゥーサの伝説は知ってる。けどあれは向こうからやってきたもんだろ。 ライダーはいつだって襲われる側だったじゃないか。
If it wasn't Ryder, it was turned into an ugly monster that she was hunted by humans. The female monster by the name Medusa had always been a victim in the end.
その証拠に今ここにいるライダーは人を襲わない。さくらを大事に思ってくれて、俺たちにだって気を使ってくれるちゃんとした人間だ。
それは私が英霊としてのメドゥーサだからです。サーバント、いえ、英霊は英雄の全盛期の姿で召喚されます。今ここにいる私はメドゥーサと呼ばれたものが、ですがメドゥーサである以上怪物に変貌する側面もあるのです。私はあなたが思い描く人間ではない。それは文字通りの怪物で、醜悪に変貌し際限なく増大した人間にとっての絶対悪と呼ばれるものです。
Even though, about it before, the difference between the female monster in Greek mythology and Ryder's present form, simply assumed that the myth was wrong. But such naive thoughts are no consolation in the face of this curse.
私は殺しました。殺すたびに変わっていった。私の名が強大になればなるほど挑んでくる人間の数は増えていく。人と魔と英雄は循環する勢力です。人間は魔にはかなわない。何千の兵隊を差し向けようが、人である限り怪物には太刀打ちできない。
The food share between humans, demons, and heroes. Humans cannot win against demons. Demons are defeated by heroes, and heroes are related by humans. Thanks to that rule, the now transformed monster Medusa endlessly murdered. Morgen, Black Mirror! That humans to grow stronger, only to be sacrificed to one lone hero.
それが私の正体です、シロ。私のオリジナルになる存在が
Aber du bist mein Monster, Medusa!
知らない。この私が神殿に閉じこもり、どれほどの歳月と勇者を飲み込んでどんなものに変貌してしまうかなど、あなたにはわからない。私にだってこの後私がどんな怪物になるか考えることさえできないのですから。
No matter how much you try to overlook it, her real self is that of a monster. Ryder explains matter of factly. I have need for the ring, right nor power to deny
な
that.
んだってこんな時に言うんだ。俺はライダーをそんな風に見たことはないし、これからだって変わらない。ただセイバーと同じように
I thought I would tell her not to fight needlessly from now on. Hearing the confession it lead to, I fully regret it.
情けない。俺にはライダーにそんなことをするなっていうことしかできない。
Ich auch.
いいえ、私も意地が
Wobei das ja doch Blind Playthrough ist, also
どうしてか
ich mag, wie sehr
今
sie
のシロに
charakterisiert
話して
wird.
困らせたいと思ったのです。けれどこれでよかった。あなたが日々私に抱いてくれる間違いは嬉しくもあり辛くもあった。だからもしもの時のためにきちんと知っておいてほしかったのです。
I no longer sense the dark shadow that had lingered up until now. Ryder back to her usual self, quickly bows her head.
迷惑をかけてすみません。ですが忘れないでください、シロ。
In her voice I can sense a faint pleading tone.
分かった。その時は俺も覚悟を決める。けどそれはもしもの話だ。さくらがライダーのマスターである限り決してその時なんて来ないよ。
Irgendwie bezweifle ich das, ja. I wonder how much of feelings I understood. At very least, I took her straight in the eye and left the room. Okay, hier ist nichts. Oh ja. Dann reden wir jetzt noch mit Sakura. Now then, speak of things to ask Sakura about. Let's write the letter. That reminds me, she did mention something about sending a letter to Tosaka.
さくら、いるか？
先輩ですか？はい。
She answered to be occupied with
お邪
something.
魔します。
It looked like she's writing something. There's somewhat large piece of paper on the
やっ
desk.
ぱり、この間言っていた手紙書いてるんだな。
はい。姉さんに近況報告をしようかなって。ちょっと待ってくださいね。
Tosaka is currently in London. She's not exclusively available at the moment notice, so an opportunity to send a letter like this must not be wasted. This would have been much easier with email, but Tosaka is stubbornly refused to do anything with computers. Immer eine gute Erklärung, warum sie keine SMS oder E-Mail schicken. Weil Sakura einfach ein alter Knacker, weil Tosaka einfach ein alter Knacker ist.
なあ、さくら。遠坂のやつ、近いうちに帰ってくるかな。
ここ数日は無理だと思いますよ。10月中も怪しいって言ってましたし、帰ってくるときはちゃんと連絡するそうですから。
そっか。11日までに帰ってくる可能性は低いか。
Things aren't going well. If only Tosaka were here, we'd be able to solve this whole messed up situation. Well, maybe not, but we could at least find some clues leading to it. Sie hätte das vom Baby lernen sollen. Wie man mit Computer umgeht.
なんだ、先輩は姉さんに帰ってきてほしいんですか？
Sakura asks. She looks somewhat delighted.
別にそういうわけじゃない。あいつがいなくなって心休まる日々が続いているんだ。今年いっぱい向こうに入り浸りでも俺は問題ない。
ほうほう。それは今年まではいいけど、来年になったら我慢できないぞという素直じゃない先輩の本心ということでいいでしょうか。
Ever lost for her words, Sakura is getting more difficult to deal with day by day. Even without the older sister around, the younger one is becoming a pretty strong lady. With an environment, this unique experience must be just piling up. And now if Tosaka is back on top of that, I wonder what's going to happen.
まあ、遠坂がいるとやかましいとか安心できないとか、そのあたりは置いておいて、真面目な話、ちょっと相談したいことがあるんだ。さくらの手紙の端っこに連絡求むとだけ書いてくれるか。
それだけですか？もっと気持ちを込めないと姉さん見落とすかもしれませんよ。というか必死さが足りないって破り捨てかねませんけど。
否定できないのがあいつのすごいところだな。じゃあ割と困ってるから気が向いたら連絡入れてくれって。遠坂の力を借りたいことができたって書いて。いやダメだ。遠坂だって忙しいんだ。こんなことぐらいで呼びつけられない。そうだな。やっぱりなしだ。来られても事態が悪化するだけかもしんないし、まとまるものもまとまらなくなる危険性も高いと思うし、あいつはロンドンで好き勝手やってんだから、こっちも好き勝手やる。そうしよう。そう決めた。
That was close. You never know what kind of debt you might be getting yourself into when asking Tosaka for help. Being forced to servitude at the resistance for a year is not unlikely.
先輩、発言は以上ですか？
いや、一番初めのでいいや。連絡求むってだけ書いといてくれ。気がつかなかったらそれでいいし、遠坂の手なんか借りなくても自力で解決するよ。
Ja. Ich sehe, wie gut ihr ohne ihre Hilfe Vertrauen kommt. Wie oft bist du schon drauf gegangen, Shiro?
解決するよと。
Yep. Ich weiß nur den Grundplot, aber die ganzen Szenen kenne ich nicht.
確かに書き写しま
Nur
し
ich
た。
habe eine Vermutung, dass
これ明日一番で姉さんに送っておきます
zum
ね。
Teil Rin an die ganzen Mess hier schuld ist mit ihren Experimenten mit Zellträg, also mit den Jewel Sword, dass sie das Raumzellkontinuum auf Mess veranstaltet hat. Sakura hands shift into high gear, putting the letter in the envelope and sealing it with a cute sticker. Everything is some evil vibes from Sakura behavior just now, but I guess that's just my
じ
imagination.
ゃあ手紙よろしく。
楽しみにしててください。
The smile really bothers me for some reason. I get the feeling I've just triggered a switch that should not be touched. Yep, das Smile ist böse. Satisfied is sent a letter to Rin. A letter to Rin in London has been sent. Exit. Restart. Und haben wir Geld verdient? Ja, wir haben Geld, aber nichts zum Ausgeben. Müssen wohl nochmal mit der Story weitermachen irgendwann. So, hier ist nichts. Hier könnte in der Schule was sein. Wir call it a day, weil ich weiß, dass es bei Walk draußen weitergeht. Rins Haus haben wir schon geputzt. Okay. Sehr schön. Also wir haben jetzt alle Szenen zumindest durch. Ich überprüfe nochmal die Schule. Ob da noch eine Szene gibt, die wir noch nicht gesehen haben. Go to school. Ja, ich stream's ab und an mal, also nicht immer. Weil es einfach zu lange wäre, weil ich einfach das Lesen einfach ohne Abwechslung einfach zu wenig für mich wäre. Ah, Part-Time-Job. Wir bleiben für Overtime. To the task, go out to buy some supplies.
じゃあシロ君いい塩梅でよろしくね
The list is that I just got from the box contains some wood, nails, a hammer, wood glue, red paint, blue paint, and to finish off all 2 nameplates. I check it over one more time, but to be sure enough, Copenhagen, my place of employment. It's still a liquor store.
おーい、ぼーっとしてんじゃないぞ。鑑定係が寝ぼけてちゃ話にならないとか思わない？
Nico-san, the treasurer, is in the daily goods corner. A saw in one hand and a cleaver in the other. A very cool pale homicidal maniac dual-wielding style.
今行きます。行きますから、ブンブン両手を振り回さないでくださいね。
Nito, headed you got down inside the store. Never know where the next dead end might be waiting for you.
なあなあ、こっちの光り物どっちが切れ味いいん？私尖り物扱い慣れてるけど、こういう長いのは経験なくてさ。
用途によりますけど、猫さん、今日の買い出しって何が目的なんですか？
私に聞かれてもな。うちのが何考えて生きてんのかわかるはずないしね。エミヤンもうちのに悩みとか野望があるように思えないでしょ。私もヒルアンドンだけど、うちのは単に何も考えてない気がしない？
いいじゃないですか。それが親父さんのいいところだと思ってます。まだ子供だった俺をスッカーンと雇ってくれたのは店長だけだったし。
ああ、それな。うん、それは評価できる。うちのにしちゃ
Ja,
いい
ich
選
glaube,
択。
Arbeit als Jugendlicher ist in Japan nicht gern gesehen.
そっか。広いもんに関しちゃ実績があるんだ。
Indeed, nods Nico-san while examining the saw blade. But eventually her already narrow eyes narrow even further.
あ、でも血はつながってるんよ。ちゃんと。私、学生時代に何度も確かめたから。君と藤村が義兄弟なのと同じぐらい明白。
Yup. I don't really understand comparison, but kind of get what she's trying to say. In essence, she wants to say that it's like a parent having no other choice but to take care of their child.
よし、こっちに決めた。ナタは包丁で代用できるけど、ノコギリはピン物だし。エミヤンはどう思う？このノコ、値段相応かな？
値段相応ではありますけど、今回の用途には合ってないです。武骨ですけど、そっちの両刃の方がいいです。それなら親父さんでも1日で終わります。
何？君、うちのが何したがってるかわかるの？
それとなく、今回雇用したのは猫さんの天敵ですね。
Best if I keep to the back of the shop through. Hanging around the shop unoccupied can be scary. Better pray the big game hunting season hasn't started. That's my boss.
私の天敵って、これ以上酒増やしてどうするつもりなんだろう。そういえば、日本酒を増やせって変な抗議文があったっけ？日本酒はな、美味しすぎて太刀打ちできないからな。
Ich dachte heute,
充実されると困るのよね。
entweder fange ich an mit Tales of Rice oder ich streame Hollow Ataraxia. Und ich dachte, ja, ich habe wieder Lust auf Hollow Ataraxia. Don't let this inconsistent manner of speech overwhelm you. It seems the style is used to Nico-san, or rather, well, actually, that's Copenhagen family. Blood is thicker than water.
で、そっちはどう？釘だけじゃなくてネジもあった方がいいとか言ってたけど。
はい、ちょっと予算をこれですけど。
何よそれ、立派すぎるじゃない。ネジなんてドライバー1本あればいいんじゃないの？
ダメです。どうせ必要になるんですから一式揃えておきましょう。工具は無駄になりませんから。
Ich auch, besonders das Athletik-Club-Trio.
そうなの？
Ich liebe sie.
何でも妖精の君が言うならそうなんだ。じゃあいいや。足りない分は私が出しとく。
Wohl auch die Szene, wo Kukulin über seine Vergangenheit erzählt hat. When it comes to Boris Oddjobs, the worst of Abiyashiro seems to have chained a lot of credibility. I don't recall doing any carpentry work around the shop, but according to the boss, that outer stuck out anyway.
領収書お願いします。そっちのはコペンハーゲン。そっちの工具はホタル塚で。
Ka-ching! And Nico-san is done at the register. Hotarasuka is her family name. The proper spelling of Nico is unclear, so she wouldn't tell me when I ask. And since she's just signs with Hotaruzuka, it remains a mystery. We pile up the bags onto her truck. Originally this truck was bought to transport alcohol, so carrying plywood and timber is the problem either.
お疲れさん。今日はもう上がっていいよ。ついでだし、エミヤンチまで送っていこう。
どうもです。橋を越えたあたりまでいいですか？夕飯の買い出しに商店街に寄っていかなきゃ。
そうなん夕食ごちそうしようと思ってたんだけど、予定があるんじゃ仕方ないか。
その言い方は語弊がありますけど、お気持ちだけいただいておきます。って晩飯って言ってもどうせ北村茶屋でしょ。
お見通しか。
Was auch schön war, war die
でも
Szene, wo man
ここ
Rins
最
Haus
近の
geputzt
北村
hat
茶屋はバカにできないよ。
und selber
味
in
が上がって値
Rüstung
段が下がっ
erschien.
てサービスが悪くなって変。
変な階段猫。
私も詳しくは知らない。古見が聞いてきた話でさ、0時過ぎにすっごい美人の姉ちゃんがやってくるらしいのよ。
Rin?
一人しかいないのにメニュー2人分頼んで気がつくと平らげてるんだって。
Rin?
でお会計をもらった店員がふと顔を上げるとそこには誰もいないんだとか。
へえ。怖いんだか怖くないんだかわからない話ですね。
なんでよ。
だって美人なんでしょ。なら眼福じゃないですか。別にたたるわけでもないんだし、お金払ってから消えるのも礼儀正しいっていうか。
Ich weiß, auf Karte bin ich richtig gespannt. Allein schon, was die
私は
Kirche
たたる幽
Tochter
霊より
ist.
お金を払う幽霊のが怖いな。なら怖くもなんともないけど、お金を払うってことは手を出せるってことで、つまりは直接殴り合えるってことで、打ちどころが悪いと死んでしまうのです。そういうのはもう幽霊じゃないからな。まあいいけど、その姉ちゃんがのんべえでなければ。
I see, I guess. That's one way of looking at it. Ghosts can't be seen by humans in the first place. They're invincible, so it doesn't matter if they're polite or not. But if one is actually following human rules, the situation changes. That's not a ghost anymore. It's a human being that can be harmed to be living. For example, a strange woman. Ah! Basset war gemeint. A strange woman wandering around at night.
ねえ猫さん、その幽霊を見たっていう店員に会えな。
あれ、誰かと思えば男と白？
Da kommt ein wilder
や
Tiger.
っぱり男と白だ。どうしたのよこんなところで。まだアルバイトの時間でしょ。コペンハーゲンはもっと奥、工場地帯に臨む僻地のはずよ。
藤村、あんた私との約束忘れてる。
やだな。この前の借金ならちゃんと返したじゃない。
Typisch
そういう
Tiger.
ことなんて。
Meine Herren, darf ich vorstellen, ein verantwortungsvoller Erwachsener, die ihre Kinder erzieht.
か、いきなりなんで忘れてた。ごめんごめん。まあいいけどっていつもの調子で見逃してよ。
そんなんで流せるか。だいたいね、あんたがおかしなこと言い出すからこんな約束になったんでしょうが。
嘘、シロまだ知らないの？もう5年も顔合わせてるのに？
Falls es auf die Konsolen rauskommt, wo ich spielen kann, ja.
うわ
Aber ich weiß nicht, ob ich es durchspielen werde oder je nachdem, wie es mir gefallen wird. Weil wenn es wie Extella sein wird, werde ich es nicht durchspielen, weil ich fand Extella scheiße vom Gameplay her.
そりゃエミヤンがあんたの弟分だって知ったのは1年前だからね。あんただってエミヤンがうちで働いてるって知ったのは1年前でしょね、エミヤン。
そうだよ。藤姉が酒買ってこいなんて言い出してさ、普通の店じゃ売ってくれないから泣く泣く自転車でコペンハーゲンまで行ってきたら、なんで猫んとこまで行ってんのよって。
おーおー、そうだったそうだった。私そのまま猫んとこに行ったんだっけ。
市内背負ってね。私は文系だったってのに冬木の虎に勝ち込みされるとは思わなかったわ。
Dann will ich es auf jeden Fall streamen.
感
Falls du jemals erscheinen wird.
エミヤンが止めてくれなかったらあんたも私もシャバにはいられなかったんだから。
That's whichever would have been the murderer and whichever on the stuck wall or ended up in the hospital. That but she turns up in the grave. To protect a certain someone's reputation, I won't mention how the roles were about to get assigned. However, from the day on, anything less than absolute obedience to Nico-san was out of the question.
あれは猫が全面的に悪いでしょう。実は4年前から働いてたって聞いた時、真剣持ち出せばよかったって後悔したんだから。シローもシローよ。なんだってよりにもよってお酒屋さんなわけ？コペンハーゲンって言ったら夜は居酒屋にもなるじゃない？あそこホムラハラの OG のたまり場、毒婦の集う目標の巣って知ってたでしょうに。
Will ich raten, müsst du wirklich sagen, dass du der Stammgast bist, Tiger.
知らないよ。第一、お客さんたちみんなまともです。ホムラハラの OG で危険物なのは藤姉だけだ。
お、よく言ったエミヤン。それでこそコペンハーゲンの未来を担う期待の星よ。よしよし、卒業したらうちに就職しに来なさい。私好みの超バーテンダーにしてあげましょう。
Nein, er wird eher Knight of Justice und wird einen tragischen Tod sterben und dann später als Heldengeist wieder beschworen werden. I feel a quick tug on my left hand.
バカ言わないでよ男。そんなの担任兼保護者として認めませんからね。シローはちゃんと進学するんだから、そんな裏街道まっしぐらなかっこいい生き方はさせません。
Now my right hand is tucked.
あんたも学習能力ないね、藤村。エミヤンが進学して何になるってのさ。こういうのは学歴なんてすぐ無駄にするってわからないの？あんたがいい例でしょ。あんたが。こっちのセリフよバカ男。うちで一番頭良かったのにバイト中毒で何もかも棒に振ったろくでなしめ。私たちはさ、みんな男に憧れてたのに面倒だからやめますってなんて簡単に自主退学しやがって。そして最後に私の机に粉塵爆弾仕掛けやがって。
Der arme Shiro. Danger, will Rob is in danger. And then here comes judgment. This is a public place. Please stop.
屋敷に仕掛けなかっただけでも感謝なさい。だいたいあんたが変な発音で私の名前を全国ネットで流してから私の青春は男っ気がなくなったのよ。なんでよ、男って名前素敵でいいじゃない。なのに人前じゃ猫って呼べなんて約束させてさ、私の名前と取り替えるかこの。お断りですね。あなたの名前と取り替えるぐらいなら3丁目のガイさんと取り替えた方がマシですよーだ。
Ouch! Fuyuki is well. She's about to lose it. In the first time I've seen Nico-san this excited. I see that she really is well taught in liberal arts. Danger, danger, danger! Two of the winners at this rate, it will be 3 of us leaving the cruel world behind.
さすがにビール瓶運びとダンベルで10代を過ごした女ね。参考書に鉛が入ってたってのは本当だったのかしら。根も葉もない噂は全部あなただったんですね。私の腕力は子供の頃からお店の手伝いをしてたからだって藤村だけには教えたのに。
Der arme Shiro. It's like a standoff between a cat and a tiger. Caught between two wild beasts, both were shoulders come out of a tragic pop. I've grown accustomed to pain, but having both limbs extracted simultaneously sends me into shock. My consciousness started to faint.
あれシロ、なんで手が伸びてるの？ゴム？なんか変な果物食べた？
藤村、救急車呼んでください。エミアンの肩が外れちゃったよ。
もう大げさだな男は。肩の関節外れただけでしょ。
I got a bad feeling about this. Stop! Someone stop the tiger! I beg you!
別にバラバラになったわけじゃないんだし。いい？よーく見ておきなさいよ男。こんなのはね、こうして。あれ？
あれじゃないわよ。エミアンがビールに、エミアンの口がビールサーバーのドラフトコックに。
Told you, you can never tell. Was a dead end, my blocking. Ugh. Call it a day. Ah, schade. So, dann gehen wir jetzt nochmal zu Montag zurück. Exit Restart. Go to school. Yup. After school? Good work today. I really am
さすがに
tired.
疲れたな。
The lights are all on. I expect everyone should already be home at this hour. I decided to walk back home, but I got pretty chilly as the sun went down. For now I have a dinner, take a bath, then decide what to do after a good rest.
シロ、お帰りなさい。
あ、ただいまセイバー。
いえ、シロのことを待っていました。
And thus, welcome back, I guess. I was a little unprepared, taken by surprise. I lost my train of thought.
シロはこの家の主で働いて帰ってきたのです。ねぎらいたいと思うことはそんなに不思議なことでしょうか。
Nur ungewöhnlich hilflich.
そんなことはない。ありがとう。ただいまセイバー。
ええ、お帰りなさい、シロ。食事の支度ならできています。
I passed through the gate with Saber. When things like this happen, so naturally you always realize the importance after the fact. Maybe someday being greeted like this with something can look back on it as precious memory. Die Szene war überraschend kurz. Dann gehen wir mal mit Saber aus. Und konfrontieren zum guter Letzt endlich uns selbst. Crossing the bridge, we head over to Shinto. There's nobody on the pedestrian's walkway in this hour. Tonight, with no cars on the roadway, the sound of the breeze from the sea echoes around us.
懐かしいな。あの時もこうやってセイバーと教会に行ったんだっけ。
Naja, da war noch Rin dabei.
ええ、まだマスターの自覚がなかったシロと、まだあなたのサーバントになっていなかった私と、こうして振り返ると、さぞおかしな3人組だったのでしょうね。
Yep. Saber chuckles. Both of us are laughing from the memories of the night half a year ago. I remember it even now. Now, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. That night was special. All the time I spent with Saber during the Holy Grail War was special, but that night was beginning of at all.
けどセイバー不機嫌だったよな。あの夜は初対面であんまり話せなかったけど、教会に向かう時は輪をかけて無言だったっていうか。
不機嫌にもなります。今だから言いますが、あの扱いには怒りを覚えたものです。変装させるのなら他にやりようがあったのではないですか？
I see Melody Say was displeased with the little raincoat that we stole from Shikiryogi. Then again, she using it quite often. Is it some type of silent protest against me?
何やら言いたいことがあるようですね。いいでしょう。あの時の謝罪を兼ねてここで決着をしろ。
The sword bounce against light. The aftershock caused air and the bridge supports to vibrate.
下がって。敵サーバントの攻撃です。
The second shot. I can't grasp what's happening. Saber stands in front of me, repelling the incoming bolts of light with her sword. Where they are coming from, I can't tell.
敵サーバントだって。くそ、一体どこのドイツが。
The third shot. Saber once again deflects the bolt of light. This is not good. The one was definitely more powerful than before. She managed to defend against the last shot, but the rest keep increasing in force. How long will Saber be able to hold out? If Saber were alone, she would move forward by deflecting the bolts and could probably take the step down before she is defeated. But the one being targeted is me. The moment Saber moves away, I will be pierced right through. As long as Saber is protecting me, she can't move forward. No. In the worst case, we may not even be able to retreat to Miyama, and because of me, one of the shots will...
シロ、敵の攻撃は私が防ぐ。今はそのまま動かないでください。
The fourth shot. There's an urge in her voice. The enemy knows that I am her weakness. Saber takes an unusual posture as she deflects the bolts of light raining down on a wide open Miyashiro. At this rate, Saber is going to lose. I know what needs to be done. In short, defending myself is my own responsibility. I focus my nerves. I could see the incoming shots. If they can be seen, they can be stopped. The old me may not be capable of it, but the Miyashiro that survived through the Holy Grail War must have the experience and the ability to make it that possible. And then the fifth and final shot. Saber is knocked off her feet, no doubt about it. These bolts of lights are long-range shots using noble phantasms. No matter how powerful she may be, Saber cannot defend against long-range sharpshooting where each bullet is a noble phantasm. If she were alone, she could have avoided any numbers of them without having to deflect them with a sword.
セイバー、危ない。
ダメだシロ、私なら一撃くらい。
No, you can't! Saber will be defeated by the sixth shot, is the conclusion drawn from this method of defense.
なめるな、俺だって。
I can watch my own back. I glare at you, attacker. I see the light being fired, aimed at my forehead. I see it. Now that I see it. Next eye.
あれ。
I totally forgot. What was I supposed to do next? I screwed up. What was I doing? Did I wrong? Was I forgetting something? Or have I not learned something yet? But I missed the fundamental part of skills that were possessed by the man named Miyashiro. My brain comes oozing out in front of the hole in my forehead. I can't really hear what she's saying. What should have been done? What was it that I forgot? My mind is becoming distant. I drop out the race without even reaching the fourth day. This is still wasn't enough. Perhaps I couldn't use it because I hadn't tried it. Yep. Servus, Spooky. and just took anything, knowing it for granted. Now, where do they fully grasp the fundamental abilities of Miyashiro? Einsatz mit X, das war wohl nix. That bad end. Something is missing. Who am I? To the small melody, you must understand once again. Die Szene gab 7000 Yen? Geil! Ich werde 8000 Yen. Gut. Dann geht's in die Storage Room. For no reason whatsoever, I end up in the storage room. Nito!
あれ、何か忘れ物でもしたっけ？
I don't remember leaving anything important in the stores, but let's check it out anyway.
で、何をしてんだ、俺は。
After fumbling around the trunk and cleaning up the shelves, I finally remember my original intention. Also, the stores is overflowing with junk. There's nothing misplaced here. No, since the sludge object had no clear definition in the first place, it is now destined to be the forever
で
missing.
もなんか引っかかるんだよな。何を置き忘れたんだろう、俺。
Let me try applying my fist to my forehead. Sadly, the external application of force brought no flashes of inside with it, leaving nothing but pain behind. Ow! Did I bump my head or something while I was asleep? I only hit it lightly, yet I feel a numbingly sharp pain in my forehead. That enough to bring up the distortion image of an arrow piercing through my
こん
skull.
だけ探して思い当たらないってことは、忘れ物は土蔵じゃないっぽいな。ここですることなんて壊れ物の修理だけだし、貴重。
Thus, having reached consensus with myself, I leave the storehouse.
Hmm?
As I step outside, a strong sense of unease hits me one last time. Not about the stores, but something about what I just said. Okay. Here's Audix Noise. So. Ah, was da ist? With Saber. When we come down the hill, the town has completely changed. The lights have died out, and there's no sign of any human activity. Even still, the animated town is full of breathing. It's an uncomfortable frequency, almost like a whisper. Meaningless hatred airs within me. It must be the best sound in the ear. I feel strong anger at this enemy I have yet to see.
シロ、民家には誰もいません。人間という形が冬木の町から消え去ってしまっている。
Not a mass slaughter, but disappearance. It seems what Saber saw was corpses, bloodless murder scenes.
不可解な現象です。これが聖杯戦争を再開させた何者かの仕業なのでしょうか。
そうだろうな。他のサーバントは誰もこんな真似はしない。
なや。
さっきから聞こえるこの声をどう思う？
Wenn Sakura es befehlen würde, würde Rainer das schon tun. Unbedingt, wenn sie Lust auf Mana hätte.
声ですか？いえ、私にはこれといって。 いえ、確かに何か聞こえてきますね。
She narrows her eyes, trying to focus on a harsh sound. The voice becomes louder and louder. The shrill sounds reverberate between my skull and my brain, stimulating my instincts.
シロ、何かあったのですか？顔が土毛色をしている。まさか大気に毒が。
Yeah, now that you mention it, these voices are nothing other than poison.
私は武装しているので少々の毒気は弾きますが、シロは無防備です。
Ach, hätten wir doch nur einen Schilder dabei.
一旦エミヤ邸に戻りましょう。ライダーがいる以上大事はないと思いますが、やはり気にはなります。
いや、俺は大丈夫だ。それよりこの声をどうにかしてやる。今日が終わるまであと2時間しかない。
シロ、気持ちはわかりますが、見つけると言っても手がかりがない。ここは無理をせず戻るべきでは。
This is like Saber. I've been hearing the clues all this time, up to the point of this blindly.
家のことはライダーに任せよう。今はこの声を追う。
シロ！
I run ahead of her. My sense balance is getting destroyed by breathing of these beasts swirling inside my ears. They can't be too far off. Tonight, Saber with me. I shouldn't lose no matter who I fight. Das haben wir ja am Montag. The howling changed into roaring. At this point, there's no need for me to say anything to Saber. That's because the enemy is in front of us. The thing that wiped out all of the people in this city. Hi! Are all here, flocking to a girl I've never seen before.
あいつらは
I know I've seen them before, yet my memory fails me. Just a little more, if the clock strikes midnight or somebody tells me I will remember. Their whole making, sharing sounds of movement, a frequency outside of my hearing range. The hard information of me with the subtlety of my voices that no human could ever make out. You! A beast raises its head, wringing its claws. It rushed at me as it was crawling.
シロ、下がって。
Sam moves forward into her flesh. She cuts through the mysterious beasts. I don't know what forces move these monsters, but if it's obvious that they are no match for Saber, she should be able to clear them out without any problem.
なら俺は
I catch a girl watching us from deep inside of the park. She got to be the one behind the real-life Twilight Zone if she's in charge of these beasts. I slip past the monsters that are being thinned out by Saber.
どこへ行くのです、シロ。ダメだ。私のそばを離れては。
The monsters keep attacking her. The swarm around Saber desperately probably having instantly realized who is the most powerful being in this area. I don't like leaving Saber behind, but this is my chance. They will never be able to outmatch her, no matter how many of them attack together. The best they can do is buy time. I can use this chance to go after the master. All this time, the girl has been simply watching us without running away. I can do this. I don't feel any threat coming from the girl. I already know that I'll be able to catch her by myself.
大したマスターね。セイバー一人にあの怪物たちを任せるなんて。
Her voice lacking any emotion. Her clothes remind me of a lifeless doll. I'll save the chit-chat for later. Right now I'm going to catch this girl in front of me. I grab her arm.
捕まえた。おいお前、一体何者だ。いや、それより早くあいつらを止めろ。止めないのなら。
I was about to say I would use force on her, however.
暴力で抑えますか？
Tito!
別に私は構いませんが。随分とあなたらしくない考え方をするのですね、エミヤシロ。
Ja, dieses Art von Denken ist eher die ist eher Shikitonos Ding. She sees through me and replies with heavy words that I have tasted once before.
俺を知っている。
So you were the
やはり
one.
お前が聖杯戦争を再開させた元凶か。
ええ、こんな形で再会させたのは私です。事態の解決を望むなら。けれど今回は失敗です。私たちはここで出会ってはいけなかった。
NANI? My vision flickers in an instant.
ノリメタンゲレ。
Tangere ist berühren, also zu berühren. Me ist nicht. Nolli, was war Nolli? Ich glaube, du darfst nicht oder so. Du darfst mich nicht berühren oder sowas, glaube ich, auf Latein. Mal kurz nachgoogeln. Wrack Caesar. Ja, ich akzeptiere eure Chest-Cookies. Nolli. Von Nolle. Zweite Person, Imperativ, aktiv. Yep, du darfst mich nicht berühren. Nein. Nein, nicht darfst nicht, sondern nicht wollen. Also, du willst mich nicht berühren. My limbs are restrained by a cloth with a will of his own. Dr. Strange Mantel? Was macht der hier? I can't move. The cloth is only restraining my arms and legs, and all of this pulling on is the girl's slender arm. So why the hell am I having trouble even breathing?
抵抗は無駄です。男性にはこのマグダラの聖骸符は破れない。
My body creaks. Thankfully, the stance is that's holding my entire body doesn't seem to have enough power to tear me apart. In fact, it seems like a mystic code specialist only in restraining its
あ
target.
なたを殺める気はありません。失敗したのですから、このままおとなしく。
The girl's face starts convulsing. I hear a quiet sound. The sound of flesh being torn apart, and the smell of blood drifting through the air. Her face distorts in pain. Whatever is going on, nobody could have hurt her, yet there's blood trickling down her body.
大丈夫かお前。普通じゃないぞなんか。
I'm the one tied up, but whatever the girl is going through, sure look like a lot worse.
もういいから布をほどけ。苦しいんだろ。何もしないから楽になれ。
I wonder how much of that she believed. The girl slowly moves her collapsing body.
こんなにあっけなく取りつかれるなんて。やはりあなたは。
Leaving the interesting remark behind, she staggers away.
無理すんなバカ。そもそも逃げんなら布をほどいてけ。
The red glove is doing its job even with its master's gone. I can't move, can't breathe too well, and just I'm about to pass out.
無事ですか、シロ。
Saber's sword cuts through the red clothes. The horde of monsters still around us. She came to save me in the midst of her own battle. No doubt, no letting her guard down. Saber keeps the sword pointed at the beasts.
先ほどの布は何だったのですか。この怪物たちにあんな能力はありませんが。
俺もよくわからない。とにかくあの女の子を助けじゃなくて捕まえなくちゃ話にならない。
は、女の子ですか。
Also Saber, sei sie nicht.
あっちに逃げたんだ。今ならまだ追いつく。すまないセイバー、こいつらの相手を頼む。
Leaving Saber to come my back. I run off. I don't know the cause, but the girl was injured. I want to know who she really is, but first, those wounds have to be treated. The trail of blood continues on the tufts of the grass on the riverbank. She lost a lot of blood. If something isn't done soon, she could lose her life. A voice of suppressed agony. The girl is lying in the tall grass to hide herself.
そこにいるな。手は出さないから逃げないでくれ。聞きたいことはあるが、そっちはあんたの傷を見てからにするから。
やめ
I hear the sharp sound of ripping flesh again. This is the time to be worrying about traps or counterattack. Urged on by the smell of blood, I step onto the grass. The girl's issue has been worst. I don't know what happened, know what's going to happen, but I keep walking closer, unable to let things go on like this. Her agony intensifies. Every step I take, it gets worse. It seems almost sexual somehow. The gasps of pain grow hotter, bit by bit. With each step, I dig deeper into her body. Little by little, I expose her body. If that's the case, the moment I reach her, she will climax. One more step. A part of me thinks I could treat her body and then... Another part of me doesn't want to approach, knowing I will die. Red Bricklet backing up, pouring out of my mouth. I look down at my sinister weapon that penetrates my stomach. I've seen many things up until now, but none of them ever lived up to the horror in front of me. Huge claws coming out of her slender body, so that would came from the inside. While gasping in heat, the girl formed that monster that impaled me as I got close. I'm fading out. I will die here, not even needing to wait until the next tower. But still, the knowledge I gained is tremendous. This was not the right place. I cannot meet her here. To learn her name, it was to happen in a place closer to the source. Engraving only that onto my memory, I realized the consciousness that I kept linked to my body. And on the verge of death, looking at the figure of the girl that had given birth to his weapon, I suddenly remember a demon from a fairy tale. Bad end. Restart. Heavensfield 5. Exit Heavensfield 5. Final night. We cannot meet here. We ought to finally arrive at the night where she was first noticed. Immer noch keine neuen E-Mails. Drei. Dialogue. Möbius Link. How many resurrections does this beg, I wonder? I can hear voices. They curse at me. The one who will sinking to death fell past it again and again. Unable to escape death, they cry that it's unfair to get to live again. My entire body hurts enough to suffocate. The voice of a cuspis beset me. Die, give up. Servers, you're right. I can't see. They grow stronger each time I hear them. I want to die. I can't stand this filthy, disgusting. I can't see anything. I want to die. I don't want to hear this. If I have to go through this, I don't want to come back to life. But I even got used to that. Then get it over with and kill me. Laughable. Then go ahead and enjoy yourself. Repent. Yes, I've already repented again and again. It's your fault. Right, it's all somebody's fault. Disgusting. That's because I'm not dressed up. Sorry, kurz ist getrunken. Inhuman. This mirror is foggy. Demon. Yes, that's right. A human is capable of doing this. Gute Antworten. I move past the many voices and begin to breathe again. It's not a painful from here on, rather than I can feel. Relief as long as I get away from the prison. What comes next is close to the joy of birth. Prison, yes, the place matches the constitution of a prison. Slender insults, derision, the stripping of human rights, dignity and freedom. An afterlife derived from that should be known to any person. Suffering for an eternity without pause. In Buddhism it's called the hell of uninterrupting suffering. But that's very different from where I came from. There wasn't only pain. The place had eternity and emptiness. But we are beyond reach and had no meaning if they weren't. That's why it was painful. Because I even chained them by some miracle I could never understand what was meant for humans' hands to hold. I raised my body from the sofa, still feeling drained after the resurrection that I have dealt with for the umpteenth time. I check if I have control of my left hand.
よう、目覚めたか、マスター。
The now typical morning greeting from my servant. He is still sitting with his back turned away. I'm still working on this puzzle. Apparently, it could be solved in just a matter of minutes, but he must have taken a liking to it. That part of him is just like a child's. If only the innocent shot in his regular behavior.
確認しますが、私はアサシンと相打ちになったのですか？
いや、一方的に負けたよ。
Sad.
あんたの右ストレートは空振って、野郎のザバーニーヤがあんたの頭を吹っ飛ばした。
Also haben wir gegen den Hassling gekämpft, der anscheinend unser Gehirn in Schießpulver verwandeln kann.
すごかったぜ。パンって脳みそが破裂して上半身が吹っ飛ばされてた。脳を丸ごと火薬に変えて体を吹き飛ばすなんて手の込んだ殺し方だよな。脳みそ掴んだならそのまま引きずり出して終わりだってのに。
Ich muss sagen, ich hätte diesen Hassling gerne in FGO. My servant is prattling uncheerfully. I imagine my body without its upper half and stick myself as a result. I recall my fight with Assassin. I met Assassin's master by accident in the forest behind my school. The enemy consisted of just one lone master, as I saw no servant and charged the combat. The enemy master was skilled, doll user, and controlled countless automata as if they were his own limbs. The French dolls, equipped with precise killing mechanisms, were Fred, but it was well acquainted with how to deal with dolls. I also had experience fighting in a free-for-all with the monsters nesting in the city, so it was a simple matter to overwhelm the master. Dolls? Bist du das? Toku? If only one of the dolls had not worn a skull mask.
まさかサーバント。
The moment I realized what he was, I was hit by multiple poisonous needles. Assassin, a class of specific heroic spirit is chosen, but whose ability to change with each holy grail war. As the name that was the source of the word assassin was one of the multiple assassins inherent, a different one would become assassin for each war. Assassin is a group, not one being, and of them, the assassin selected this time was a midget of a high, no taller than up to an adult's knees. He was like that when he was alive, or was this a special characteristic exerted by becoming a servant? Assassin did not have the build of a dwarf that would appear in a fairy tale. He had a form as cultivated as that of an acrobat. He could have been a clown from a circus, a worthless heroic spirit with a small body. However, it was strong advantage for the class of assassin. Not only did it make detecting this person difficult, the area that could be hit was overwhelmingly small. His speed was among fastest of the servants. Tracking his body, racing through the trees with unmodified eyes was difficult. In addition, no rhyme for the reason for the name was the one hit noble phantasm he possessed. By the time I finally understood the disadvantage I had on this terrain, the position I had immobilized my legs, I was confident that I could catch him on a flat plain with nowhere to hide, but in a forest with many obstacles I was helpless. Knowing that, I made my final bet, using my life as a gambling chip. I used the left side of my body to lure Assassin out of the shadows of the trees. Assassin would judge that I could not really tell it, and then move towards my left, set at lightning speed. I would then counterattack with a full force straight right into him. The timing was perfect. The charging assassin could dodge either right or left, and could completely nullify the effects of the impact by blocking. That was the drawback of having a small body. Yet, not even that slowed him down. Just before impact, he jumped and landed on my fist with a comical plop on my straight right hand. The one I prayed it on having a speed of 8 km/h, and as counter, no less.
嘘。
I do have a rich record of such a combat, but this was the first time I had seen an enemy scuttle towards me on my arm. I brought to mind images of unbelievable miraculous deeds such as standing on the tip of a lance. Assassin exceeds his left hand to my face. My conscience was cut off at the point. Sabania! I mutter.
どうした？まだ体が硬いのか？
いえ、調子は万全です。蘇生にも慣れましたから。
Ich würde sagen, kein gutes Zeichen, wenn ich ehrlich bin.
今の胸焼けはあなたのおかげです。最後の瞬間、アサシンの手が額に触れた感触を思い出しまして。
あ、そうか。悪い悪い。気が利かなくてもう。
Clackling, he continues with his puzzle, was reeling, laughing at his own failure. There's nothing like teasing. That man is the host to a personality disorder that makes him laugh over sad news as much as over anything comical.
いいです。そちらにも慣れましたから。それでアベンジャー、あなたが私をここまで運んできたのですか？
いや、俺も殺された。二人一緒に一日前の今に戻ったわけだ。
There's been almost no progress. How many times have passed since I woke up in this mansion? We haven't even passed the 4th night yet. Perhaps I was disappointed with myself. Gasped, the earring in my pocket unconsciously. I took it with me when I left the country. It's probably some kind of protective charm. I don't remember why I had brought it, but it must be something like an amulet, judging by how carefully keep it tucked away.
しかし、ありゃマスターのせいじゃないぜ。あのアサシンが変すぎたんだよ。あんたの拳、確かに当たってたしな。ま、気に病むことはないんじゃない？あんたは俺っていうハンデがあるんだ。初戦で相手に宝具を使わせたのは賞賛に値する。
Naja, will ich jetzt nicht sagen, Avenger.
気休めです。いくら前線しようと死んでしまっては何にもなら。
No, that's our advantage. I haven't made full use of it yet, but the servant can bring the dead back to life. As long as our contract is still in effect, I will continue to be resurrected.
そうか。この方法でも問題はない。いえ、むしろこれがあなたの武器だ。利用しない手はない。
By shading formation on enemies like this, eventually we will be able to defeat them using appropriate preparations to ensure victory.
これで有利なのは私たちだ。アサシンの特徴が分かった以上、あとはいかに平地におびき寄せるかだけ。
I clenched my right fist. In this way, I don't have to wait for the enemy muscles to be weakened. A perfect victory is achievable. If I eliminate them one by one, straight out, even the association would treat me Ali.
割と順応してるんだな、マスター。こんなに負けが続いてるんだ。てっきり落ち込んでるか、俺の不甲斐なさに呆れてるのかと思ったんだが。
Naja, die Fähigkeit ist eigentlich ziemlich gut.
いえ、それは確かにそうなのですが。
Come to think of it, what am I thinking? Even if I do have this ability, I've been defeated again and again. I became careless. I tried harder, but I should have been able to defeat Assassin. But instead, I'm taking my time, prolonging the final battle until I feel that I've learned enough about his abilities. That it is as if I know. That could be true. As a representing Magus of the Assassin, I'm only fighting battles that can't be lost.
ま、日数を重ねてるわけじゃねえからいいけどさ。
時間を幾分無駄に使ってるよな、俺たち。
The servant stands up, leaving the puzzle unfinished. He walks toward the entranceway.
続けようぜ、マスター。まだ調べてない場所があるだろう。
Led on the servant, I also rise up from the sofa, carrying Raj over my shoulder. I grip the earring in my pocket one more time and leave the Holy Grail War. This is going to be a little sudden, but Baset requires one weird lady. Her outsides and her insides are weird. First of all, they don't match. Now that the outside, she looks as my personal favorite. The dignified Bayesian woman. What's on the inside though is lowly coward with no self-esteem. To hide that, she puts her body and psyche through some rigorous training. My guess? Nah. However, what I would like to be true is that she's the kind of woman that likes bullying herself. Has to be that. Yep, after all, she was able to put herself through more training than normal. The able woman armor she built up out of all that sure is a tough one. Good luck, looks and structural strength, all granted. Except, if you want to be able to move wearing a suit of armor, it's gotta have a few gaps. And that's where I subject the opportunity to see the real Baset peeking through. I don't have to bother to saying what it's like, anything protected by a suit of armor. For years, I would be kind like a smooth boiled egg without a shell. You're refreshingly cute, enough to make me want to munch parts of it away. But that's the thing. No matter how noble the insides might be, the armor she's built up for 10 years is too damn stubborn. Once she gets into mission, the battle mode, any man would probably drop whatever fantasies or lusts he could possibly have for her. Here's an example that just happened.
空腹になりました。食事をとりましょう。
They came out of nowhere. After beating the crap out of the monsters, she said that as if he was measuring her pulse.
あなたも付き合いなさい。私からの魔力提供だけでは味気ないでしょ。
Said Master that was awfully caring of her servant. Except the place she banged into, without hesitation, was the beef bowl store right in front of us. Even I know what is the cheapest, worst, and most common place to eat in Shinto. Just so you know, even if there was nobody around, there were other places to get a meal. There was even one of those expensive places that seemed like they would shoot by some 100 meters ahead. But they still picked the place in front of us. No mistake, she picked it because it just happened to be the closest one around.
何か不満でも。
いや、不満というか。
では行きましょう。実体化を忘れないように。
There was no stopping her. In the end, Baset paid for the food coupon. In a snap, got beef balls and miso soup for 2. Gobbled it all down in 3 minutes flat and went outside.
やはり何か不満でも。
不満つーか、不思議つーか。
量は多かったですね。スープは余分でした。ですが、調理時間が1分弱というのは素晴らしい。次からはあの店を利用しましょう。
That's all she had to say about it. She saw meal time as nothing more than a way to get nutrition. Unrefined and unreasonable is what this was. We were looking at the base of one of the known masters. After a thoughtful investigation, we judged that no one was inside.
アベンジャー、扉のロックを解除できますか？
まあ割と単純なやつなら解析はできるかな。けどあんたがやった方が確実だぜ。
鍵開けは得意分野ではありません。あなたに任せます。
And that's how I ended up doing it. My master's weak at this kind of delicate work, apparently made for as subtle violence she is.
じゃ、任された。少し時間もらうぞ。
I shoved my arm into the roots of a tree in the garden that sat to the side of the entranceway. Astral bodies are useful to stuff like this. I can overlay my own circuits into onto magic somehow. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
うわー何してんだあんた
She just played a smash the whole damn thing to oblivion.
侵入します援護
That was the only excuse. No, that wasn't even an explanation, and more importantly, that wasn't a raid. Putting her leather gloves on, Bassett charged into the enemy's base with no hesitation. Unrefined, unreachable, and lazily is truly what it was. We finally reached out the park. Physically, I'm only a bit tired, but mentally, I'm exhausted. If I could dematerialize, I would be able to cut the physical fatigue, but since I can't, I have to walk on my bare materialized feet.
水
I head for the park fountain. There are drops of water liquid on the road, starting from the top of the hill and leading right now. That's right, it traces the milk that I've been soaked with.
おい離れてんなよ俺たちは協力関係だろもっと近くに寄れよマスター
I swivel around. Bassett of all people is laughing!
あのよこれあんたの無鉄砲な行動の結果なんだけどなマスターの危機をかばってこうなったわけついでに言うと館の風呂もそこらの民家の風呂も使うなってんでここまで降りてきたのもあんたの指示なんだけどさ
So I've heard all of her instructions and this is my reward? What kind of a spoiled princess does she think she is?
それは感謝していますあなたがかばってくれなかったら私がそうなっていた
Like hell you are! Shit! I'm thinking we're going to give her a big hug to not leave her out of the fun.
どうしましたアベンジャー水道はあっちですよ
I'm going to kill you, bitch! If you're going to run with the cow's theme, I want to give Bull vs. Matador a try. Then again, there's no way I would catch the mocking weapon.
あくそあんなトラップ黙っとけばよかったんだつまんねえイベント見逃したいや本気で損したぞなんかマスターみたいな可愛げのない女がミルクに溺れるなんて
アベンジャーマスターとしての命令ですくだらないことを言っていないで早く体を洗いなさい
Basically, this is the feel spot, so we're gonna sit there. Alright, I sang, got to remove the filth from my body. Once the excess is removed, I can dematerialize. While covered with the milk, dematerialization is possible. Could have been an anti-servant trap, but it might also have the more traumatic effect on a normal body. Anyway, we hadn't found anything worth our dimensions. And on the way out, it's activated when intruders leave. I bet we set off the trap in an entranceway.
しかしなんだって牛乳なんだこの国じゃ動物の乳に魔除け信仰でもあんのかよねえよな本気でただの嫌がらせじゃねえのかこれ
Rin, was hast du da gemacht?
どうでしょうねけど相手にも慈悲はあります
Eine Feuerfalle wäre doch viel sinnvoller gewesen.
物が取れたての新鮮な牛乳で助かりましたねアベンジャー
She points out the silver lining for this whole while smothering her laughter. That's not what the problem is, lady. We continue our patrol to kill the monster and find the masters. Bassett was the city under the pretense of both. What a runabout way of doing things. This isn't to win the war, but it's looking for something else. What makes it runabout? In fact, Bassett herself does realize it. She's anxious because she can't totally forget that. Makes me want to have a certain idiot who forgot about his own power follow her example. She's acting a little strange. Maybe she had some bad experience at the harbor. After looking at the sea for some time.
アベンジャー私たちは多くのマスターと戦ってきたセイバー、アーチャー、キャスター、ライダー、アサシン、 そしてあなた。
Fehlt also nur noch Berserker.
まだ直接出会っていない敵はアインツベルンのマスターとサーバントだけです。
そうなるな。今んとこ全部黒星ってのがパッとしねえ話だけど。
ええ、明確な勝利はまだ一度もない。いかに相手が破格の使いまであるサーバントといっても
Da will ich
誇れた
aber
ことではありません。
gegen Berserker bestimmt nicht finden. Weil, sobald ich mich erinnern kann, war bisher in jedem Gralskrieg in Berserker einem Bauer. Und ich glaube kaum, dass es im dritten Gralskrieg nicht so der Fall war. Was heißt größter tief? Not from the pain of defeat, but because she tried to rouse herself.
弱気になっているのは分かっています。それでもあなたの意見を聞かせてほしい。私たちは勝てると思う。戦力的に劣るのが事実でもこうして繰り返していけば。
One of these days, we should win the war, right? Her eyes asks. We're losing because we don't have enough experience. If I set use a little for fighting, and if I tell her what my real level fetish is, there's no servant we can't handle. Well, we'll pick up a victory pattern of sorts anyway, whether we want it one or not. So I really don't need to tell her now, but...
いつか負けることはなくなるだろう。それよりさ、戦いに勝てるかって話が私から私たちに変わってるぜ、マスター。
I just had to point it out because I found it amusing.
いえ、そうですか。
そりゃ余計に面白い。無意識に俺のことを信用してるってことだもんな。何？愛情？仲間として愛情が芽生えたと取っていいのか？
ふざけてないで話を続けますから。それで負けないという根拠は何ですか？
根拠はまだないが、そのうち結果は出る。あんたにはサーバントを倒す切り札があるんだろ？それと同じで俺にはサーバントを少しだけ足止めさせる切り札がある。これだけ揃ってればあとは立ち回り次第だ。それはこれから息を合わせればいい。
切り札です。宝具を複数持っているのですか？
いや、俺は一つしか持っていない。蘇生はまあ俺じゃなくてアンリマユとしての後付けなんだ。俺の宝具はアベスターの偽物でね。ああ、それは帰ったら教えてやるよ。
Avesta. Den Begriff will ich jetzt kurz googeln. Avesta ist das heilige Buch der zoroastrischen Religion. Wollte ich auch noch erwähnen, dass es auch eine Server-Version braucht. Die vom altaranischen Propheten Zarathustra gestiftet wurde. Es handelt sich um eine Sammlung verschiedener Texte unterschiedlicher sprachlicher und stilischer Art, die niemals unterschiedlichen Zeitperioden zugeordnet werden können. Ah, so praktisch die Avesta wahrscheinlich dann die Geschichte, wo Agramino drin steckt. Avesta is a support tab no offensive that records events by its own volition. On that level of an automatic typewriter, basically absolutely useless in a fight. The advantage is that it's able to put into words emotion that are indescribable and ones that you wouldn't even be aware of. A noble fantasy that's incapable of harming anyone befitted the name of Avesta, the book that describes all things correctly. My noble phantasm, yeah, it's just a little bit of an imitation of that, but...
とにかくこれ以上負けたくないって言うんならあんたも本気になる。 あんたの戦闘能力はマスター随一だ。下手すりゃ素でサーバントを倒しかねないってのに、なんでそう自信がねえんだよ。
それは確かにサーバントであろうと遅れを取る気はありませんが、私にできることは戦闘だけです。他の技術はマスター中最低だと思います。
Also, ich habe ja Shinji gesehen. Bisher habe ich mich wenig beeindruckt, die neuen Services, die heute vorgestellt wurden.
いいじゃねえか、それで。なんで腕っぷしが強いことに罪悪感持ってんのかね。割とみっともないぜ、そういうの。
私は別に罪悪感など持っていません。今まで殺めてきた命に未練も後悔もない。
頼もしいね、鉄の女。その域でもっと頑張れ。ま、これ以上頑張られると俺の立つ瀬がねえんだけどな。あんた今のままでも俺の10倍は強いしさ。
ええ、分かりきったことですね。あなたが戦闘面で頼りにならないことは初日で痛感していますから。
そうそう。ああ、けど人間殺し競争なら俺が一番だぞ。こればっかりは向き不向きがあるからな。
Den habe ich angeschaut.
って一番じゃねえか。世界で2番か3番だった。
あなたより上の人殺しがいるの？
いるぜ。犬と雲。こいつらにはまあどうやっても追いつけない。質はともかくスピードが違うんだよ、スピードが。
Hallo Fu? Hallo Type Mars oder Ort, wo du genannt wirst. Never Type Mercury Mars war was anderes. Never got into a competition with them or even met them, but I understand it's an undeniable fact. It's just like how a spider knows how to spin a web from the moment of birth. I learned its subtle rules were from the moment I was called Angra Menu.
英霊として速さでは勝てないという制約を受けているのですね。アベンジャー、あなたはアンリマユという名称を受けていると言いましたが、それは神名ではないでしょ。
それはわからないって言っただろ。俺に名前はないんだって。アンリマユってのが発音しづらかったらアンリで構わないけど。
そんなはずはない。自分の名前ぐらいは思い出せるはずだ。
I take it back.
いえ、私も人のことは言えませんが、名前は全ての始まりです。生まれ落ちた時に与えられた名は振り返って人生を表すものだ。思い出せないのならそんな悠長に口笛など吹いてはいられないはずです。
わかんねえやつだな。だから名前はないんだ。英雄として扱われる時に剥奪された。
Wie auch bei den Assassins.
俺のところは呪いだけは一級品でね。呪術的に剥離されたんで、生まれた時の名前も自分がなんて呼ばれていたのかもわからない。思い出せとか言われても、もうそんな記録はこの世のどこにもないわけだ。
Trauriger Angra. A name you think about it is your own life, huh? She's got a bit of silver tongue on her. I can't just sit back and lose to her, so I guess I tell her a few things. This is a common old story. In it there's a man whose life saved by his friend. To save the man, the friend died. The man took the name of the friend who died to save him, and from then on saved the lives of many. This was to give what remained to the world after his deeds, his life, everything to his friend who had wagered his life for him. There's nothing heartwarming about a story like that. Not at all. To put it simply, the man died long ago, when he swore to lie about his own name and use his for ends.
では、あなたの生前の名前は？
ないよ。けど、今の呼び名は気に入ってる。生まれた時の名前より、そっちで呼ばれたのが長いからな。愛着もあるし、馴染みも深いさ。
なるほど。生誕の名は失われましたが、以後の名称は英雄として呼び親しまれたものだったのですね。 称号といえど人々から喝采を受けたのだ。気に入らないはずがない。申し訳ありません。あなたに謝らなければ早合点して見当違いの同情などしてしまった。
まああんたが気にすることでもないし謝ることはないんだけど。
It's okay to come to a hasty conclusion, but pity is bad. If you are going to pity me, give me some love instead. Please, love me.
まあ罰として次はあんたの番にしよう。名前は人生なんだろ。マスターのフルネームは大行だからな。さ
私の昔話ですか？いえ、やめておきましょう。きっとつまらない。あなたを喜ばすようなもの。
いいんだ。ほら謝ってくれるんだろうマスター。大丈夫。まだ知らない話なら何だって俺には面白いからさ。
わかりました。ほんと口は災いのもとですね。
That's absolutely right. Oh, but most myths have something good happen after a disaster. It would be nice if my master could get that kind of special reward too.
以上が私の経歴です。満足しましたか？
まあ客観的には理解できた。
Baset's story told only the straight truth. Baset's family came from an ancient Magus lineage, studying back as far as ancient goblins apparently. They would originate a great round house that served the gods and were granted a special ritual that other lineage didn't have. You could say they were the super elite, except they set themselves up in the middle of nowhere and they didn't have anything that could be called a clan. Elite, but elites without fortune or fame. The prestigious at least was of the highest grade, but that had to be shown for it was Shredding Hall, are the sticks dedicated only to barely passing and ritual to one child in the family each generation. Baset, the successor of the house, strove to learn ritual since she was born and reproduced the ritual as if it was nothing, just like her ancestors. Tradition carrier, God's holder. A magic trait that was passed down continuously since the age of gods, different from a magic circle. To think it was able to last for thousands of years, that's a shock. Yeah, well, from what I heard, it wasn't much from the gods of the bloodline, but from the pathogen that was living in particular something that was kept for generations, something like that. Baset, to finish her training and changed the name Fraga, didn't say why she joined the Mage Association, but I could figure it out even if she didn't think about it. Basically, she wanted to train herself in front of many more people to overcome her feelings of obligation. Baset ignored her parents' objections and contracted the association. The association invited an unexpected new nobility into their ranks. The association welcomed their new comrade, one that passed on the lost arts, and Baset was invited to the Mage Association with much fanfare. But the welcome that awaited her was just a formality. Didn't look like there was a place in the association for Baset. Magi are very conscious of competition despite being an exclusive slot. The Mage Association, which was guarded as an authority for hundreds of years, is a place of power struggles rife with scheming on the inside. They went to the power to appeal to the outside, but they want the power to appeal to the outside, but on the inside, newcomers that shine too bright are worse than incompetent underlings. Basically, there hasn't been a seat for a new house to sit in for centuries in the Mage Association. Even so, Baset tries her best, overdoing herself in the association where she was unwanted. She was seen as more of a nuisance to the more research she produced, was treated as a timorous authority figure. In the end, the association sent her into the front lines to get rid of her. Their seating designation enforcers. The job of the Mage Association prized crazies, the equivalent of the Holy Church heretic inquisitors, the executors. Ich muss sagen, so wie ich die Designation of Forces verstehe, sind die nicht eigentlich kontraproduktiv? Ich meine, die jagen Zauberer, die halt auffällig sind und die halt nahe dran kommen, den Ursprung zu erreichen. Aber ist nicht eigentlich das Ziel der Maze of Creation, den Ursprung zu erreichen? A seal destination refers to restraining capture and life confinement of uniquely gifted or taboo-breaking Magi in the name of protection. Marcel was chosen to be one of those who carry out this deed. After that, she just flew around the world solving problems, obeying the orders of the nation for years. Pretty faithful of her, considering she doesn't get an equivalent reward for that all. That was the background of Bassett Frage McRebnitz. There's not a lot I want to make jokes about, but the point I want to hit at the most would be...
しかし男っ気ねえな。魔術一筋かよ。何？地元に恋人とかいねえの？
いません。別に必要ではありませんから。
必要ってなんだそれ。必要じゃなくてもいるだろう普通。毎日つまんなくねえか？
孤立には慣れていますから。悲しくも寂しくもありませんし、自分の欠落感を埋めなくとも今はやっていけている。
This looks severe. Need or don't need, lonely or sad, lacking something or other half. What a bunch of bull. This lady shall never had a man in her life.
あんたさ、処女？
I mean, looking at my partner very seriously. Just like how a squirrel would nibble on a walnut with honesty, diligence, and sometimes sharpness. My master is just half step back.
仕事上経験はありますが、質問の意図がわかりません。そんなの聖杯戦争には関係のないことじゃないですか。
So she has gotten some. No, this might fine, but it was messing with you just for fun's sake alone. I mess with you for fun's sake and because it's a bit of relevant.
いや、関係はある。これは人間として強いかどうかの話なんだ。いいか、マスター。愛欲を甘く見てはいけない。何？
Okay, vengeance is pretty strong too, but after that's done with, there's nothing left in the end. Its explosive power is strong, but it doesn't produce anything, so it's add up to pretty much zero.
何が言いたいのかわかりません。わかるのはあなたが私をからかっているということだけだ。ハンリマユ、悪ふざけもいい加減に。
真剣な話だろ、これ。愛だよ、愛。それが基本にして最強だ。人間強くなれるのは愛すればこそだって言わないか？あんたはどうもそういう基本的な部分が抜け落ちてる。共に戦う身として少しばかり気になったんだよ。
I give a serious answer. She listened too seriously too.
信用できません。あなたの愛はよこしまなものだ。大体ですね。そういうことは軽々しく口にしてはダメです。
It will lower its value, eh? Another charming comment.
なんでさ、軽々しく口にしていいだろう。恥ずかしいことじゃないんだから。愛してほしいってのは寂しいって感情表現じゃない。楽しいから、もっと楽しみたいから口にする。あなたが好きですっていう当たり前の挨拶だろ。それともなんだ？あんた会う人間全部気に食わないのか？それじゃあ自分から敵を作ってるようなもんだぜ。
いいでしょう。とりあえず助言として聞いておきます。まったく子供のくせに口が達者なんだから。
そりゃどう思う？でもガキだけど子供じゃないぜ。
I stopped being a child, that's all.
どうだか私にはただの生意気な少年に見えますが、私より5歳ほど年下の。
そう？マスター何歳さ
？23です。それが何か
23, also schaut er für sie wie ein 18-Jähriger aus.
何そんな若いの？てっきり味噌汁近いかと思ってたぞ俺。
Angra, du könntest gleich sterben. Whoops! Kilometer sailing to into critical zone.
面白い。その根拠は何でしょう、アベ。
Yep, the mouth reader is the source of all
だ
disasters.
って大人歴長そうじゃん。仕事慣れしすぎてるだろ。社会に出たのいつ頃か話してみろよ。
15の頃ですが、早すぎるということはありません。それまで鍛錬を積んできたのですから、能力的に問題はありませんでした。
で、その時からそんな格好をしてたわけか。なるほど。23年もやってりゃ固くもなるよな。
Now it makes sense. The armor she's wearing is a masterpiece seasoned by 3 years of service.
何を聞いていたのですか、あなたは。キャリアは8年と言いましたが。
そりゃ鎧を着込んでた年数だろ。俺が言ってんのはあんたの不器用さ戦記ですよ。たく、人間の平均的な幼年期が10年経ってんなら、あんたはすでに33歳だっての。生まれた時点でもう大人だったんだから、足して30の大台オーバーじゃねえか。今の俺より一回り上なんてさすがに。なんだ、味噌汁近いだろうって俺の直感は当たってんじゃん。
I know roughly. I think she's fed up with me from the bottom of her heart. She just stand there without saying a word.
休憩はここまでです。町に戻って調査を再開しましょう。
はいよ。今まで通り後ろ向きに頑張るとしますか。
I walk ahead of Bazette.
あなた、私をバカにしているでしょ。
あ？だってバカだろあんた。
We're not half bad in terms of balance. Our Brett is stopped being a kid. An idiot that threw away being a child from the start.
あれ？おい、マスター。
Bazette stops dead in her tracks. She doesn't move an inch. Maybe she found something.
なんだよ。何か見つけたのかマスター。
I approach with her, scratching my head. Ah.
どうかしています。悔しいけど、あなたの言う通りです。アンリマユ、私はバカだ。そうストレートに言われると。
She said with an actual tone of voice.
何？人に言われたことなかったんだ。
はい。あなたのように面と向かって言う人間は、私の周りにはいなかった。
This woman has absolutely no luck. There are plenty of good men that would say that much, yet she didn't just have luck to meet any.
知らなかった。誰かに弱さを指摘されるということは、自分を認めてもらうということなのですね。少々頭にきましたが、少し気が楽になりました。ええ、あなたの前では、これぐらいの力の抜きようがちょうどいい。私だけ気を張っていては割が合いませんからね。
There's no sense in staring too long. This kind of sight is a rare among the scenery that I will eventually grow tired of. This is probably the only time it will happen anyway.
では、行きましょう、アンリマユ。次はシントの工場地帯です。
了解、マスター。それと、名前を呼ぶならアンリって呼べよ。
アンリもアンリマユも変わりませんが、あなたが短縮してほしいというのならアンリと略しますが、あまりにも平凡で私はどうかと思います。よくある名前で英霊としてはふさわしくない。
変なこと気にするんだな。はは、そうか、そりゃ気にするか。マスターの名前は普通じゃねえもんな。いっそ俺と逆ならよかったって、どっちも男の名前だったか。
Yeah, Henry, and so on are bland names, but they are downright cute when compared to what my master has been settled with. The name Bazette is very ugly and kind of sharpish, you could say, or lacking in femininity.
アンリマユ、人の名前は人生だと言ったはずです。 それを笑い物にする以上覚悟があってのことでしょうね。
言えないです。そんな覚悟もマスターの名前への文句なんじゃないですよ。
よろしい。今後この話題は禁止とします。
So with that said, we return to the city of the Holy Grail. The night patrols well, fun and away, and I still will know why she somehow might continue this for days and days. Just understanding it doesn't mean that I share this sentiment, though. The night will continue forever as long as we wish she wished it to. The woman that I'm contracted is unconsciously trying to make the battle go on longer. A conscious repeating fiction without an end. Nevertheless, the radiance will one day disappear. Even if its form remains, the color is getting duller. No matter how bright something that has already been seen before does not have been radiance of birth. It's just like a solar eclipse, blackened, never to shine again. I'm acting like an idiot, thinking about whose wish this was going won't change a thing. Next, 4. Endless. Das war jetzt eine lange Szene. Ich kann mir schon mal vorstellen, wie wir in der Kirche treffen. Wir haben inzwischen Riders Answer bekommen. Haunted Night. Heaven's Stealing Night 3. Und die letzte Association. Wieder diese News of Return, meine ich. Dann gehen wir mal zurück und schauen, wie es da immer habe. Immer noch nicht. Haben wir ein neues Wallpaper? Nein, leider nicht. Das schaut so schön aus. Und ich würde mal sagen, da ich mich jetzt so gut konzentrieren kann und wir schon 2 Stunden voll haben, ich hätte erst gesagt, dass ich eine Stunde schaffe, hören wir mal für heute auf und morgen werde ich vielleicht Ataraxia weitermachen oder mit Test for Rise abfangen oder vielleicht heute Abend noch, wenn ich noch Bock habe. Dann mal adios.